Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Techno. Today I've got me and my AMX 5100. I am getting pretty close to the AMX 5120, so you should start seeing some videos of that here as soon as I can get that unlocked for you guys. Alright, so in today's game we are on the map Malinovka, and this is an encounter battle. Encounter, of course, means that there is a neutral flag somewhere on the map. In this case, it's right smack dab in the middle. And both teams are trying to either capture that, or they're trying to eliminate each other from the game. Which, especially on Malinovka, is usually what happens. It's a small map, it's a high tier. The higher the tier, generally, the higher the view ranges. And so, sitting out in the middle of a field trying to capture a flag in a small map like this will get you shot from pretty much every direction. So. Yeah, anyway, let's see what we're going to do here. Alright, so we're going to start off by going into this bush here. Let's pause here real quick. See that KV3? This is not where you go. Alright, so like I said, remember, in this high tier, people have crazy view ranges. So let's look at the minimap. See that circle right there? That circle is a mod that tells me how far my view range is. Now, if you use that in reverse, you could see that people over at the 1 where the enemy base starts basically have perfect line of sight to see that KV3. And that's exactly why he got spotted there. If you're in a low tier game, that's not going to happen as often because everybody has lower view ranges. But in high tier like this, you get spotted almost instantly when you are in that area of the map. So just remember guys, high tier has high view range, and high view range means some of the tactics and places you may have gone on some of these smaller maps aren't as effective anymore because of that view range difference. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, I'm putting some side shots into this E75. E75 is a very dangerous tank. It is a tier 9 game, and he is tier 9. So each team got, I believe, 3 tier 9s, although we got one more, but it's artillery, so I don't know, it doesn't really count, right? Anyway, so I want to do some damage into the E75. He's a dangerous tank, and so I do get him down by about 600 health. Alright, now, I am in my 5100, so it's important that I give myself plenty of room to maneuver and plenty of places to basically disengage from combat while I'm reloading. You will really never see me play this tank too much as a frontline tank if I can avoid it. Alright, so early on here we've lost 2 tanks and they've lost an artillery. I'm imagining that's probably due to... Actually, that's one of our medium tanks, so he was probably just in a bad location. Alright, so we see this IS-3 on the hill here. This is definitely some shots I should be able to send, so let's see if we can get some damage on him. Start working him over. The Object 704 puts a round into him. I get one shot in. I'm bouncing a little bit here, missing. Alright, I get another shot in. Alright, it's a 225 health. That's a good health to leave somebody at. He's within one shot. But, oh crap, look at the score. 2-6. So we're already down 4 tanks. Not only are we down 4 tanks, we're down 4 of our pretty good tanks. I mean, these are our heavy tanks. These are the guys that needed to kind of hold the line. Alright, so I see that the northern flank has fallen. If you guys look at the mini-map, the only thing that's north is our Object 704, which is a very bad place for a tank destroyer to be. But I'm not going to be the kind of guy that says, oh, well, you know, I'm going to help hold the line, because you just can't do that with this tank. This is not a hold the line kind of tank. So what I'm doing here is I'm relocating. People often assume that this is me running away. And for intents and purposes, it is. But what I'm doing is I'm reloading, and I'm getting myself in a position where I can still be effective in this game. You know, just because you're losing and, you know, you feel like there should be somebody up north doesn't mean you should be the person up north. And going anywhere alone against 4 or 5 enemy tanks is just never a good idea. So we're just not going to do that. We're going to fall back, set up a secondary line of defense, and we're going to try to hold this flank. Alright, so the T-34-2 here comes barreling down the hill, and he pays for that pretty dearly, and removed. So yeah, he was full health, what was that, 4 seconds ago? So, yeah, you know, charging into a 704 and a full clipped 5100 is not good for your health. Alright, now this T-2064 here. I wish I could have got those 2 other rounds into him. We would have killed him, but I was really worried about taking damage. There are still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 enemy tanks north of me. Alright, so we have a STI, very dangerous tank, and we have an IS-3, a very dangerous tank as well. Now, if this IS-3 had just turned around and shot me, he would have won the game. Probably. This is something people do constantly. They constantly go for the easy kill. You know, they'll just charge after artillery or light tanks or people who have really not that much strategic value. But on this part here, what I'm doing is this T-64. See him flanking? Now, I start to come around the north of that rock there, but then, you know, you gotta think, wait, you've got at least four enemy tanks north of this rock. So if I go around that, it's a good way for me to get shot. Now, luckily, the T-64 driver was a moron. So, what did he do? Instead of flanking around the rock, forcing me to go around the north side of the rock where he could have exposed me to his friendly team's fire, he keeps pushing. He actually changes direction and comes around the other side when I start to back up. And what that does is it allows me to stay behind the rock, and then my Object 704 kills him. Alright, now I'm putting some rounds into the IS-3. We've taken him from full health down to 1 hit, which I seem to love to do with IS-3s. But now he's pissed and spotted me, so we're gonna try out our ninja skills, and thank God. The 704 finally finishes him off. Me and the 704 really were carrying this game. Although I gotta give it up to our medium tanks up on the northwest too, right? Because they actually have pushed all the way through the field and flanked around. And that pressure has caused a couple of the heavy tanks that would have come down the hill with these guys to divert to that threat. So really, it was a group effort, and this team really kind of came through and pulled this out of the jaws of defeat, so to speak. So it ended up being a pretty decent game. We're now 11-10, so we took our 4-tank disadvantage and made up for that, and we are now winning by 1. The enemy team is completely isolated in the northwest corner of the map now, and so what we're going to do is basically close in. You know, close the noose, basically. Come in from every angle, deny them any sort of tactical geography advantage of being behind a hill or anything, because we're going to be coming at them from every side. Alright, so I ninja the kill on the Jagdtiger. Of course, as we talked about in a previous episode, there's really no such thing as ninjaing kills, right? Kills mean basically nothing, and really the faster you can remove an enemy tank from the game, the better. Even if they're on low health, you want to remove them, because this isn't a type of game where an enemy tank loses effectiveness as he gets hit, right? An enemy's gun does the same amount of damage no matter how much health he has, so removing any tank from the game immediately removes damage coming into your team, and that immediately increases your chance to win. So that's why removing people from the game, even if they're at 4 health and somebody else basically has done all the work, and you know, you feel like you're stealing their kill, you're not stealing their kill. It is helping them not take damage. Alright, all we have left is the artillery here, Mr. Jonas. I thought he was over near 1, but my team tells me he's on the hill, and there he is. And he's running for his life, but there's nowhere nearby to ground. And I'm an autoloader, so he dies. Alright guys, so that's the game. Let's see how we did. Alright, we got 80,000 credits, that's pretty decent, and 3,300 XP. This also was enough XP to qualify for the second class if I hadn't already had it. I actually have my Ace Mastery on this tank. And yeah, you can see that E75 we were firing at on the hill there. We did get 3 rounds into him, so the one that I blind fired at the end probably tracked him. Alright, looking at the scores here, the Object 704, like I said, had a great game. 1235 XP, 5 kills, 5529 damage, so that's respectable for an 704. But we did good too. We had 1100 XP, 3 kills, and 3881 damage, so that's also very, very good for a Tier 8 Heavy. We did 27 shots, 18 hits, 16 pins for 3881 damage. We received 1 hit. which was a penetration. However, it was the tracks. It was not actually a hull pin, so we actually took no damage. However, if it had gone through into our hull, it would have done a potential damage of 3090. We did spot one guy. That was the IS-3 while he was running through the forest, and we traveled 2.3 kilometers. All in all, though, we made 48,000 credits, which is very, very good. So, anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed watching this replay, and I will catch you guys next time.